Exactly 7 months ago, that was me walking through the Doura market, a former insurgent stronghold right there in the heart of Baghdad. I was with General David Petraeus there in this neighborhood that U.S. troops and their Iraqi partners focused on turning around. It's a place for business, for families, for normal life in Iraq. It's not there yet, but today I spoke to an Army commander who says, just keep watching.
When you were here last time, we couldn't take you into some of the neighborhoods, actually most of the neighborhoods in Doura. And now we can walk through those neighborhoods and see families on the street, markets open on the street, schools active. It's really prospering right now.
And what do you think the key was? I know General Petraeus and you and other leaders there, even heads of the Iraqi army, said to me, well, it's because Iraqis and U.S. soldiers are working together, we're sending out a message, and we're taking down al-Qaeda. We've figured it out in this area.
Yes, I think the key has been living in the neighborhoods with the citizens. And so that as time went on and they developed the confidence with the American soldier and saw that we were going to stay there, we weren't going to leave, they came out of the woodwork and began to tell us where the caches were, where the IEDs were, and where the enemy was hiding.
And when you talk about taking out top al-Qaeda leaders, because that's what you've been telling me that has happened recently, do you have a list that you work off of? I mean, how do you know that they're top al-Qaeda leaders?
Well, a lot of it you develop from the intelligence you gain by being in the area of operations, living in the area of operations. The people who live in the neighborhoods know who these people are, and they tell us.
7 months ago, you were really getting deep into that al-Qaeda cell, and you hadn't quite been able to get into the health clinics and get those operating yet, or the farm areas where the animals are. Let's start with the health clinic. That's up and running now, right? Tell me about that.
Yes, probably the biggest health clinic we started was in Mahala 820, and it was really the brainchild of one Dr. Hussein who lives in that Mahala, and he had been doing services out of his house, but he came to us and said he had a bigger plan to take care of the people. So he went out and purchased this house in the same Mahala, just down the street from his house, and we provided him resources and dollars and equipment to stand it up and make it bigger.
The animal vaccinations, the farms, they're up and running now. This was basically a battleground for members of al-Qaeda. How were you able to save the animals, and how are the farms now?
Well, the farms are starting to come back slowly. Now that we've cleared out the al-Qaeda in that area, the people are starting to come out and they're starting to bring in more animals. Well, what that caused us to have to do is go find the veterinarian clinics that were surrounding area to vaccinate the animals. And we have one that we have in the area of Five Farms area, as we say in English, Hamza Donum area, which is where the farming community is. And it was the al-Qaeda support zone that was feeding the leaders and the supplies into the Doura area.
Well, Colonel Ricky Gibbs is commander of the 4th Infantry Brigade Combat Team in Baghdad.